signals. Enemy fighters coming your way.
My scope's negative. I don't see anything.
Take out your visual scanning.
Here they come.
Watch it, you've got one on your tail.
She picked one up. Watch it.
I can't see it.
It's on me tight. I can't take it. I'll be right there.
Several fighters have broken off from the main group. Come with me.
Come in, run. Come in. Watch your back, Luke. Watch your back. Fighters must be coming in.
I hit, but not bad.
I want you to see what you can do with it. Hang on back there. Red 6, can you see Red 5? There's a heavy fire zone on this side. Red 5, where are you?
I can't shake it.
Hey guys and gals, Jim here. What everybody's been waiting for, and all that. And this is it. This is my Death Star Assault diorama from Star Wars: A New Hope. I tried to capture the scene from the movie, and hopefully I did a good job of it and stuff. So now this is the Bandai, the 1/44th scale Death Star Assault set. I combined 4 of them to make this diorama. It's about 28 inches long, and I don't know, I forgot the measurements. It's probably about 10 inches deep by about 8 or 9 inches tall. So I added all, combined up 4 of those kits together and made it bigger so I could display more ships and make it look more like something rather than just one set with a X-wing on it and stuff. It didn't really look like much. So, but this is it. I did a bunch of different lighting features on it that I've been messing with lately, trying to create explosion effects and things like that. I got my 1/44th scale special, TIE Advanced, and then the 2 regular TIE fighters. That's the TIE X1 or whatever Advanced. I got 1 Y-wing. I was going to go with 2, but I would have had to make this diorama a little bit longer, so I just settled for 1 Y-wing, and there were more X-wings in the movie scene anyway, and then I got 3 X-wings in that. I went ahead, I did manage to get my laser cannons lit and all that. They are extra fast flashing LEDs, and the camera won't pick them up because they are so fast. You can see them in person, but they're so fast the camera just won't adjust to picking them up. You might notice a little bit and everything. My big explosion scene in the back, if you notice, I took a extra X-wing and I broke it up in little pieces, and instead of inside of there, like one of them got blown apart and there's parts of the ship flying all over the place and everything. I went ahead again with the fiber optics to make it look like when there's an explosion, how you see sparks shooting out like fireworks, like, you know, like flying all different directions and stuff. So I went with that little effect, and that's a 10mm LED in there. I wanted to use a big LED and kind of build up my explosion effect around it, and that's pretty much, that's basically, it's fiber fill. It's like what they stuff in seat cushions and stuff, you know. It's just one big fluffy thing. And when I paint it up, I use some spray some yellow on there, some orange, then I dust it with some flat black, and I tease it out and like kind of puff it up a little bit and stuff to make it look like a, you know, an actual explosion going on. It's the paint really, it doesn't dry like it does if you spray a model, let it sit and dry. It stays tacky. So I call it, it's like making, it's like grabbing a handful of cotton candy at the carnival or something. That's what it feels like. And eventually it does dry to the touch and everything. And actually I stick the fibers in there, then I spray it with a dull coat to hold everything together. The parts of the little X-wing that I put in there, those are actually glued in with canopy glue, little dab of canopy glue to hold them in place and everything to keep them from falling out. But it's about as coarse as when a woman does her hair up with hairspray when she's going out and doesn't want the wind to mess up her hair. It's pretty stiff and stuff. I mean, I can go in there and poke it and it'll push in a little bit, but it almost pops back into shape because it's sprayed with so much dull coat and everything to keep it in place and all. And then I just got it hot glued to the back of the diorama wall and everything. That's like in the background and stuff. And then I decided I wanted to try to do this one at 3-dimensional, like it's floating in space and mid-air explosion. They missed what they were shooting at, and the weapon exploded in mid-air and stuff. And I thought I'd pull that off, and that's basically just hanging from the top. It's the shrink tubing holding the LED in place to give it some stiffness so it don't move around. And I tried to get it as 3-dimensional as I could, where it looks like it's not really attached to nothing and it's just floating there. And I thought I pulled that off pretty good. And there you can kind of see, if I get it a little close, you might be able to see. And that's why I kind of did that little raised higher in the back with the panel of black foam core to give it some extra height and everything. Like that's the top of the edge of the trench, the outer edge of the Death Star, and then that's making it look like that explosion is in midair and stuff. So I thought that effect came out pretty cool. Then I did some little areas there. You can see the bright orange with the little bit of LED, the hot spot and everything. Actually, in person, they're not that bright and everything. This is all wired up for 12 volts. This normal wiring LEDs is for 12 volts. They're basically all cool clear white LEDs for 12 volts. I wire everything up at 470 ohms. That's the minimum you can go for 12 volts. Anything lesser ohms and stuff, you'll end up blowing them. So, but that's what they recommend and everything. If you look up on the charts for a white LED is for 12 volts is a 470 ohm. So I did a couple different areas with those, like little explosions, like they missed hitting the X-wings and stuff, and the TIE fighters they're shooting and stuff, and they missed the X-wings, so they're hitting the bottom of the trench and creating little explosions on the base. I thought that turned out pretty decent and stuff. Now I know there's I didn't see anything in the movie where the Death Star has lighting in the trench, but on the back wall I just picked out a few areas that looked like they had little indentations where you can drill them out and stick some fibers in there. So I went with just some white and red LEDs and lit up the fibers just randomly, just a little bit of areas. I didn't want to go too overboard and everything, I thought it'd just bring a little bit more life since I couldn't light the models. The engines would have been nice, but they're so tiny you can't even get fiber optics into them and stuff, because these kits basically, once you snap all the parts together, they're almost like a solid piece of plastic, and there's not really room to light these and stuff. But so I did a little bit of fibers. The laser, the turbo cannons or whatever, I did manage to make them. I could move them, which isn't something I'll be doing, but I did manage to get the fibers in there without destroying them, where I can still move them up and down. I can't pivot them because they really didn't lock in there. They just sat on top of it, and where you could rotate them. And with the fibers being so stiff, those are 0.50 millimeter fiber optics. They're kind of stiff. They would have just kept popping off and stuff and kind of tipping. So I did glue those in place. I positioned one where you could see a little bit more. The other one I got positioned going further towards the back, so you see it more on an angle and everything. I did like, I know the Death Star, I'm not real familiar with Star Wars, like I said, so I don't know all the technical stuff like I do in Star Trek, but I know that this chase scene, they were after the exhaust port, shooting a missile or, whatever, firing their weapons down the exhaust port to try to destroy the Death Star. Being that this is a combination of several kits, and that I ended up with two different Death Star ports, and that there's one in the back in the center, but I covered it up with styrene and built some little raised detail on it, so you didn't know that it was the same part. But I did light both of them. I had to build a tube the same size as that opening to fit down in there. It's about 1.25 inches deep, almost as thick as the base. So, and then I just popped a hole through there. I stuck a cool clear white LED facing straight up, but I didn't want them to be real bright where they were going to light up and shine blue all over the scene. So what I did, I resisted it at 10,000 K ohms. A 10 K ohm. It's a 10,000 watt ohm resistor. You can do that with LEDs as long as you go over their limit. It's going to dim them as much as you want. Now on the camera they're showing up a lot brighter, but in person it's just a very faint hint of blue, so you know there's something going on way down deep in the Death Star and everything. But I wanted to kind of light those up with a little bit of a bluish. I just tinted them with some clear blue Model Master, and that's till I got a real light blue like I wanted. And I did both of them. It might not be screen accurate or, you know, accurate to the Death Star, but hey, it's my model. And like I said, since I couldn't light all the little tiny ships and everything, I wanted to add some more interest to it. So I went ahead and lit both of those and stuff. I thought it turned out to be pretty cool and stuff. Model is all enclosed. I built the wood frame. I wanted to keep it lightweight and not real heavy, so I did enclose the whole model with the foam core and framed it off and everything. I used 1x2s for the frame and 3x3 hobby square dowels that you can get at Menards. Dirt cheap and everything, so it is three-dimensional. There you can pick up that my little suspended my chandelier, if you want to call it, and everything. I thought that turned out to be a little cool effect, and if I don't like it, I can always just go in there with a pair of snippers and clip it off at the top and get rid of it. But I think it'll stay. It adds a little bit of interest and stuff, and some experimentation that I wanted to do on these Star Wars models as far as lighting this diorama up pretty cool and stuff. And my ships is basically all the ones I've shown in past videos, the ones I made the decals for and everything, so I'm not really going to go into great detail on that. But all in all, I think it came out to be pretty cool overall. It's kind of like a widescreen scene like you'd see on your TV, on your flat screen TVs and everything. And that, and you turn it this way, give you a shot of it looking from this end and everything. There's the TIE fighters and all that. You can see that explosion in the back. That's up against the wall and everything. And that's actually not as bright in person either. You don't get as much as that hotspot effect, but you still get the same type of effect with the bright white in the middle and the orange and yellow and the black colors on it and stuff. But I kind of like it. I like those little explosion things I did down in the base, like the mist shots and everything like that and stuff. And I tried to mess around and get this to focus in real good, but I wanted to do it in real low light, so all my little lighting effects would show up better and stuff. So you know, certain times it'll focus when it gets in like over here and stuff with my TIE fighters and stuff. And for the Death Star, the trench part of the model itself, it was almost molded the same color as the TIE fighters. So what I did is I used just a rattle can. It's Model Master Light Sea Gray. It's kind of real, like a medium, almost like a dusty gray, kind of, you know, not a gray, but like a dusty gray, almost like it's got a little brownish or something added to it, or blackish. And then I just used an empty Windex bottle and mixed up some cheap old apple barrel black acrylic, and with some water in there, and I sprayed the entire piece with that mixture like a wash, and I went with a paper towel and just wiped it off all most of the raised surfaces where it was puddling up on me and stuff. And it you know, in the daylight you can see the wash a little bit better. You know, it kind of made everything look like it was just dirtied up a bit. You know, you might be able to pick it up a little bit there or something, but on the cannons, the turbo cannons, it did a better job of getting into little nooks and crannies. But the rest of it is just mainly like raised surface and, you know, bumps and stuff like that. So it really didn't take, not like when you got panel lines that are engraved and stuff. It just took like some of the edges or some of the little nooks and crannies. It just set in there a little bit and dried a little bit to give it some more, a little bit of a weathered effect. And you can kind of pick some of it up there and stuff. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this came out and everything. It's kind of what I had planned and all. And since, like I said, since I couldn't light the ships, I wanted to do more different lighting effects as far as the explosions and something that I really haven't gotten into in the past up until recently with these dioramas and stuff. And I thought they would be pretty cool. And it's something I always wanted to do and all that. And this was the perfect opportunity to really experiment and everything. So I'm happy with the way it came out. And all that. Hope you guys like it just as much. Anybody got any questions, anything else, feel free to, get a hold of me. Like I said, lately all my videos, I'm leaving my email in the description, so that way they don't have to backtrack and go through a bunch of videos to try to look up my email address or nothing like that. But I kind of like it a lot and stuff, and you kind of get down a little bit like an overhead view and that, and it's, the ships are a little bit closer, I thought it was going to be a little bit, they were going to be a little bit more spaced out. That's why I left out one of the Y wings. I just didn't want everything to be too crowded and cramped and have too much going on in a little tiny space and stuff. Even though it's 28 inches, it's still not that big. I thought about actually ordering one more of the Death Star sets and added on, like, that would have gave me another 6 inches on the length and stuff. Brought it out almost 3 feet, and I just is not, 4 kits is enough combined and everything. It's going to get the point across. There's still plenty I can do and stuff and all that, but other than that, hope you enjoy it. That's my Death Star. Sorry I couldn't get a little better focused, but I think being at the ships, I did put up in the top, I got one up here to kind of give it a little bit of brightness. And I didn't want it to be real bright and stand out like a flashlight. I wanted it to be kind of dim, like they're in outer space and there's not a whole lot of stuff going on as far as lighting, other than the, lighting from the explosion and stuff. And then I got another LED I put up in here, kind of highlight this here corner a little bit. In the center, the explosion thing kind of casts a little bit of light down here and stuff. And then with a little bit of light from below, it casts some nice effects on the bottom of the ships and stuff too. And that one gets a little bit more light from the explosion hitting it, as well as that one and stuff. But it is pretty really lit a lot lower than what it's showing up on the camera. So it got the effect that I like, and it'll fit real nice on a shelf, and it's not that really that deep. And it's also very lightweight with the 1x2 frame and stuff, and all that, and it's just glued and doweled together, so it's pretty rigid and stuff. It won't come apart and all that. And I use the nice strong tight bond extra strength wood glue and stuff on my stuff, so once it's glued, it's pretty much permanent, unless you get King Kong come by and visit and tear it apart. But that's all pretty much. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing it and all that. It's pretty much, this is the finished model, so I just thought I'd do a little bit of start to the video with the soundtrack, the video from A New Hope playing in the background before I started talking and rambling on about not much of anything. So that's it. That's what everybody been waiting for. I'm finally finished with it. I'm probably going to take a break for a few days because the last 2 weekends I'm pretty sore from with my ailments from clearing snow off my driveway last weekend and this weekend, and getting the vehicle cleared off. We got 6 inches last week and 6.5 this weekend, so we got about a foot of snow sitting on the ground right now, and it's a little bit of work with my issues and stuff. So I'm probably going to take it easy this week, maybe do a little cleaning up all the hobby supplies that I had pulled out for this, and the last couple other builds, the Robert E. Lee and stuff. And I'll probably get onto the Katinga and start working on paint for that, so it may be a while. I'm not going to be doing a step-by-step on the different colors of paints and stuff. I'm just going to take my time. I got the base coat down a while back, and it's just going to be a lot of masking painting, the different shades that I want to go with. I'm still kind of not 100% what I'm going to go with on that, but once that's finished, I'll do a video on that. Like I said, I don't do step by step on all my builds and everything, you know, unless it's something I feel maybe I want to. But most things I'm just going to build and finish up. I might do a vehicle maybe toward the end of the week, just something simple out of box, a little bit of extra detail or something. I haven't done a vehicle for a while. I got a couple of those kits or something stuff. I got the little Star Wars kits. Not ready to start on the 144th Force Awakens Millennium Falcon yet. That's gonna be a pretty in-depth build and stuff. Lighting, the photo etch, all the little tiny intricate parts that go on that. That's gonna be something. I'm probably gonna be nervous as hell, especially when it comes to all those little detail piping parts and stuff on there. There's oodles of parts in that kit, and I want that to turn out just about as good as my refit and stuff. So. You know, it's not the big 72nd scale. It's only about maybe 10 inches overall diameter once it's built and stuff. But I want it to come out looking pretty nice, and I'm going to do that on a little diorama with these Special Forces TIE fighters and stuff. So, but other than that, this is the Death Star Trench diorama. Give you one more overall look at it. And I think it looks pretty cool. It looks almost like you're looking at the scene from the movie itself. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys liked the finished product. And thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for all the nice comments you guys been leaving me. And thanks to all the new subscribers I've been picking up recently and stuff. And this is going to be it with Star Wars for a little while, other than, like I said, them little pocket kits I got that I did a couple of videos on recently. I'll be doing some little tiny dioramas that'll fit, like, you know, maybe on your office desk or something. Just something small and simple, but to make them look like a scene from the movie. That's pretty much my point to do with all these models. But other than that, that's it. So till the next time, thanks for watching, and take care, and we'll be talking to you. Bye.